Hey, what's up, family? I'm gonna do this video here, and I'm gonna title it, Who's Pushing You to Be Great, to Be Successful, to Be Better Than What You Are or Can Be? Who's pushing you? It's actually gonna be a personal dedication to a very great guy by the name of Ivan Fernandez Anaya or Anaya. Apologize if I'm pronouncing the last name incorrectly. So let's go with Ivan Fernandez. Because what this guy did is going to touch on what I'm talking about in this video here. Who's pushing you? Think about it. Who's pushing you to be great? Who's pushing you to be better? We all got family, friends, co-workers, but just think about it. Who is really pushing you? Especially when we talk about family, right? Let's talk about like our kids. A lot of times kids got the misconception of thinking parents are trying to control them and try to tell them what to do, when no, really, they're trying to help prevent you from making obvious pitfalls so that way you could be that much greater. They're pushing you to be great. But we know how kids go, oh, stop trying to tell me what to do. Right? You know what I'm saying? Only time I think it's funny and cute is when you got that little kid who just learned how to walk and talk. We know how that is, right? That little kid that just learned how to walk and talk, when you try to do something for them, sometimes they be like, I got it. I know how to do it by myself. And you know, as parents, we'd be like, okay. We laugh because they're trying to get their independence. But going back to the guy, Ivan Fernandez Anaya, if I'm pronouncing the last name correctly. I don't know if y'all all remember this great guy. This was in 2012. It was a race, like a marathon race. I don't know what, cross country race. That's what it was. And towards the end of the race, what this guy did, so righteous. And as always, you know I love to give y'all a word of the day. That's going to be the word of the day, righteous. Look up the word righteous. We heard it before, right? It means, simply put, very good, upstanding, morals of a person and their conduct. Someone to do something very good, do something very morally, righteously, morally good. You go, man, this guy's a righteous guy. But anyway, back to Ivan Fernandez Anaya, right? During this cross-country race, when it got towards the end, after their long journey of running, he was way behind, and it was a guy, Mutai from Kenya. He was way ahead. He was only feet away from the finish line. But the crucial mistake that Mutai, the Kenyan runner, did, he didn't quite understand that the finish line was a little bit further up. Only feet. He clearly could have won the race. And so he stopped running because he thought he won the race already. He started looking at his watch and was wondering how much time he did. He thought the race was over. But little did he know the race was not over. And just as he only got a few more feet, like from, let's say from here to the tree, the palm tree, he only had that much distance to go. And he kind of stopped and he looked back and he seen the guy Ivan Fernandez running up on him. Now think about it. We've seen this ugliness too. A lot of times a person will run by that person, or they doing a bike race, they go by that person and take the win. But what Ivan did was very righteous. That's why I say, title this video, Who's Pushing You? Because what this guy did was incredible, very righteous. So what Ivan realized, maybe this guy don't quite understand, he ain't past the finish line, and he clearly could have run this race. So what Ivan did, he told him in Spanish though, he said, you gotta keep going, you gotta keep going. This race is not over. And the Kenyan guy, he was looking at him like, what are you talking about? He started to kind of run, but he was like, he didn't understand. So he said to him again, but the guy didn't understand Spanish. So the Kenyan guy just was like, what are you talking about? So then what Ivan did, he started pushing the guy. Instead of keep talking, he pushed the guy, pushed him and pushed him and pushed him until the guy crossed the finish line. And he, Ivan Fernandez, finished second. But the guy Mutai finished first. See, Ivan did the most righteous thing that the world have seen. And by him doing that, he has forever became immortalized in the eyes of people when we think about him, how righteous of a thing he did. He pushed that guy. And once the guy crossed the finish line, finally it registered in the guy Mutai head. He was like, oh, wow. And he reached back and he shook the guy's hand. Like, wow, thank you, man. You could have easily took that race. So that's why I say, who's pushing you? Think about it. Who's pushing you? Are you around the negative people? Because we want to get away from that. We want to be away from that. You want to be around people, as I said so many times before, and you've heard it before. You want to be around people who light up. around your mere presence. As soon as they see you, they light up. That's who you want to be around. You want to be around that person when you came up with ideals and things to do, whatever. They motivate you to follow that dream, push you, they inspire you. Touches on one of my other videos called just that. It's called Be a Inspiration, or another one called Follow Your Dreams and Aspirations. Matter of fact, I think it's just called Dreams and Aspirations. But let's stick with the first one. Be an inspiration. That's what Ivan Fernandez was to the world. He was an inspiration of righteousness. What he did was incredible. He could have easily took that race. But you see, even afterwards, when they interviewed him, he said that wouldn't have been right if I would have did that. And I like some of the statements. I'm gonna see if I can remember from me reading the articles. He said something along the lines. He said, my dream is that one day we live in a community of life. What he was basically saying, where we care and share and help one another. That's what he meant by that. And then he said, what would be the merit of that victory if I took it? He said, what would be the honor of that medal? How would that medal be something that I honor? But the last thing he said, it touched back on why he was such righteous. He touched on his mother. He said, and what would my mother think of that if I had done that? What would she think of that? See? That's coming from a person that was raised right and that's righteous. And obviously, see how his mother pushed him to be righteous. That's why I say, who's pushing you? Your family, your friends, your co-workers, are they putting positive stuff in your head? Because you definitely want the negative. We ain't even got to talk about the negative. There's too much negative out there. Who's pushing you? Don't be offended when someone is trying to push and motivate you. You think they're trying to control you. Like I said, like a lot of our kids, they love to say stuff like, oh man, I'm tired of you trying to tell me what to do. Oh, we're trying to control my life. No, we're trying to help you be better. For that friend out there, when your friend is trying to tell you something, maybe a pitfall that they did and they trying to prevent you, don't think that they trying to be a know-it-all. No, if it's a real friend, you will understand. It's coming from a place of righteousness. So I might want to listen to that person. If it's that family member, that coworker, think about it. If it's coming from a place of righteousness, know who you're talking to. Because if it's coming from a place of righteousness, like the guy Ivan Fernandez Anaya, you should know everything they're saying. I need to listen, and I need to follow what they're saying. They'll help me stop from about to fall in that pitfall. I'm just give you a personal story of mine. I always try to put a personal story to the actual story I'm talking about. Talking about racing with the immortalized great guy, Ivan Fernandez. The guy moved Thai well because he did a great race, but Ivan Fernandez, like I said, he is forever immortalized in the eyes of us, showing us what righteousness is and what a great person he is and that we can be. But I'm gonna give you one of my personal stories dealing with track. I remember this was about when I was in the 6th or 7th grade. I joined the track team. Now I remember when I was little, I always used to put garbage cans up and I used to jump them, jump in the hurdle, think I'm jumping a hurdle. I did this all the time. So jumping hurdles was nothing. I didn't know it was called hurdles, but that's what I was doing, not realizing that's what I'm doing. So when I got in the 6th, 7th grade, I joined the track team. And I said, when they showed me the hurdle, I said, oh, I used to do that when I was a kid, jumping over garbage cans in my neighborhood. So I was like, I want to do that. And let me get right to the point. I was good at it, but I didn't know just how good I was. But I was almost like the guy Mutai from Kenya. I didn't quite understand the rules. And look what I did. I did something just like him. And let's touch on my boy Dow in here too, because he clowned me that day. But check this out. When we ran the race, when we lined up, we all lined up. It was like me, and let's say it was like 5 other guys. All right, so boom, we took off, right? As soon as we started racing, remember, I'm running the hurdles now. I'm 6th, 7th grade. Now, as we was running the hurdles, like I said, I was like Mutai. I didn't quite understand the rules. I just knew I could run, I could jump hurdles. So now we running the hurdles. Now it was a couple of good fast guys on the hurdle team against me. It was one particular guy. I'm not even gonna say this guy's name. He's supposed to be this great guy in track and football, and he messed his career up. But whatever, always messing around. But anyway, let's stick to the point. So now as we running the hurdle, we running right. I'm running. I'm gone. Next thing up, one hurdle. Did it like it was nothing. Next one. Next one. Next one. Next one. I'm in first place. The finish line is right there. Just like Mutai, I made the same mistake. After I finished the last hurdle, I went to the side where I seen all my friends. I was like, yeah, yeah, I was celebrating. I was like, yeah. Next thing you know, as I'm doing this, 1 passed me, 2 passed me, 3 passed me, 4 passed me. And the coach was like, what are you doing? Keep running. And I was like, what? And then all my friends were like, yo, keep running, stupid. Look at this guy. Ha. My boy Dow was like, yo, look at this guy. He went from first place to last place. And I was like, what? And then I started running. By that time, I came in last place. I didn't understand. And when I came in last place, I remember the coach yelled at me. He said, what the hell is you doing? You were supposed to run. I said, but I finished. I beat all of them. And all. He said, you were supposed to run all the way to the finish line until you get to me, to the stopwatch or the gun. You don't stop running after the last hurdle. I didn't understand the rules, like Muay. And certainly, the other 5 guys I was running against, they was no Ivan Fernandez Anaya. They wasn't like him. They looked at an opportunity and they took it. But you know, that was my fault. I didn't understand the rules. But that's why I really can identify with that story. So like I said, who's pushing you? But I'm gonna give you one more. That same day with me, I ran the, you know, the whole length of the track. I got in that race. So I tried to redeem myself. Right? I said, all right, I'm gonna redeem myself. I messed up on the hurdles. I was hoping we could do it again, but that was over. So back then, I'm going way back. I'm going back to like the 80s. That's back when everybody used to have them socks with the, you know, different color socks. It'd be all white sock with green, yellow, green, or I used to always wear blue, gray, blue, like the Cowboys, right? So we used to wear our socks all the way up. On this day, I got my socks all the way up. I'm going to run the full length, whatever that's called. I forgot what that's called, what, 400, whatever, meter, whatever it is, right? So as we running, boom, we run, I'm gone. Once again, I'm gone, I'm gone, I'm gone. See, but I ain't know how to reserve myself. I just took off full speed, and I'm in front of everybody. Next thing you know, ooh, I pulled the Charlie horse. And as I'm going around, everybody's passing me, one by one, and I'm running. And I'm running, and I'm limping, and I'm limping, and I'm limping, and I'm finally coming way in last place. And I'm getting around towards the edge. And as I'm getting around towards my edge, my boy Dow, again, because we used to clown each other when we was kids. As I'm coming around, remember what I said about my socks? It was all the way up here. My socks had went all the way down to my ankle because the elasticity was loose. It was old socks. And he started yelling out. He said, yo, look at his socks. Look at his socks. Yo, his socks all the way down to his ankles. Look at his socks. Look at his socks. And yo, I'm limping to the finish line. I just feeling miserable. Physically, I'm messed up. And mentally, I'm messed up. And my boy clowning me. But hey, the ultimate point of this video is, like I said, who's pushing you? Because, like, I'm going to keep saying his name, Ivan Fernandez Anaya. The reason I got to keep saying his name, because just how righteous he was. I just gave that little humorous stuff about me. But see how it tied in with Muay? He didn't understand the rules, nor did I. I lost a race that I clearly won, that everybody see. But it's like, why you stop? But like I said, who's pushing you? Your family, your friends, your co-workers? Don't get offended when someone is pushing you to be great. Don't get offended and think they're trying to control your life, tell you what to do. No, they're trying to help you avoid pitfalls. That's what they're trying to do. And that's what you really want in your life. Someone that's pushing you, motivating you to be better. Think about it. This young lady texted me a while ago on here. She said, whenever she don't want to work out, that's every bit of the time she know I need to go work out. Whenever I don't feel like reading, that tells me I need to read. See, I always tell people I'm the chocolate chip king. It's easy. I know how to be lazy. I'm the king of being lazy, sitting on the couch eating chocolate chip cookies. So every now and then you got to tell yourself, let me break that bad habit and let me get up and go to the gym. Let me pick up that book. You know what I'm saying? Let me put the drugs down. Let me put the alcohol down. Let me knock it off with the nonsense that I keep doing. Especially if someone else is trying to tell me, hey man, you wanna go to the gym today? Think about when you're in the gym. Who's motivating you? Who's pushing you? Who you normally used to do 4 sets of 10. Now you're working out with somebody else and say, no, we're gonna do 7 sets of 15. Different. They pushing you beyond what you normally used to do. And that's what you want in life. Like Ivan Fernandez Anaya said, my dream is that one day we live in a community life. Meaning we care for one another. We uplift one another. great guy. So in closing, what I would say, Ivan Fernandez, you are not forgotten. That happened many years ago, 2012. But you see, it's many years later and people are still talking about you. I hope you hear this video. I hope this gets to you. I hope it reaches you. Because what I said earlier, I will say it again. Dedication to you. You are forever immortalized in the eyes of people that look at you as greatness.
And Bay, if I might cut in, I want to thank you so much because you have all your life have pushed me to be better.
Yeah.
And you're my inspiration. So you're just like that guy.
I appreciate
And
that.
I really want to thank you.
Yeah, well, that's how good
Because
men.
you have lifted me up.
Yeah.
It takes somebody to push me, and you did that job, and you still do.
What good men supposed to be for their wives and their kids. You're supposed to motivate them in every way. You don't do things or say things like, oh, I'm busy. I ain't got the time. I got other things going on. But we see what your other things going on is nonsense.
Yes.
Your family should come first above any and everything else.
Yes.
Ivan Fernandez Anea, you're one of the great ones. You are forever immortalized in greatness.